Santa Claus doesn't mop floors. Chapter 6, Checking It Twice. As soon as Mrs. Ewing dismissed them that afternoon, Eddie grabbed his friends in the hall. "We've got to go to the teacher's lounge," Eddie said. "Something strange is happening." "Oh, Eddie," Howie sighed. "Why don't you just admit you lied? You didn't do anything to the teacher's lounge." "But I did," Eddie yelled, "and I'm going to find out who undid it." Eddie turned and stomped toward the lounge. Melody, Liza, and Howie looked at each other and then followed. The lounge was full of teachers, drinking coffee as they tried to stay warm. But the four kids were able to peek inside long enough to see a sparkling, clean room. "Isn't that Mr. Jolly great?" they heard Mrs. Ewing say. "I just wish he wouldn't keep this building so cold." "But this place has never been so clean," another teacher agreed. "I don't know how he does it." "It's almost like magic," Mrs. Ewing said. "Speaking of magic, did you hear about the food drive? The box was overflowing with jars of peanut butter, and no one will admit to bringing them." Eddie pulled away from the door. "Magic? My eyeball. That Mr. Jolly is nothing but a cold-blooded old geezer." "Watch out," Melody warned Eddie. "He's standing right behind you." Sure enough, Mr. Jolly had listened to every word they said. And he was writing in his little red notebook. "Hello, boys and girls," Mr. Jolly smiled as he slipped his red notebook into a pocket. "I thought you kids would stay far away from the teacher's lounge." "Oh, we just had to show Eddie how clean it was," Liza blurted. Eddie jabbed her in the ribs. "The lounge is awfully clean," Eddie muttered. Mr. Jolly winked. "Let's keep it that way, too." "It's not up to us to keep it clean," Eddie said. Mr. Jolly rubbed his beard. "And it's not up to you to make the messes." "Let's get out of here," Eddie said. "Bye, Mr. Jolly," Liza and Howie waved. The four kids ran outside and met under the big oak tree. "There's something weird about Mr. Jolly," Eddie announced. "It is creepy the way he watches us," Melody agreed. "And why is he always writing in that notebook?" Liza asked. "It's like he's writing down everything we do," Howie added. "Maybe he's a spy," Eddie teased. Melody rolled her eyes. "Why would anyone want to spy on us?" "He could be Santa Claus," Liza suggested quietly. Eddie burst out laughing. "Liza, why don't you grow up?" "Wait a minute," Howie interrupted. "Mr. Jolly does keep the building as cold as the North Pole." "And what about that little man all dressed in green?" Melody added. "He could have been one of Santa's elves." "Didn't that little guy call him SC?" Liza asked. "That could be short for Santa Claus." "You guys act like you're in kindergarten," Eddie sneered. "Santa Claus is kid stuff." "Maybe you're right," Melody said. "After all, Santa Claus doesn't mop floors. And I've never seen Santa wearing shorts or green tennis shoes." "How would you know?" Liza asked. "Maybe he's just pretending to be a janitor." "Mr. Jolly is just an old man who's trying to turn us into freeze pops," Eddie said. "But I'm not going to let him."